Just love doing ag, never done anything else. Never ever had a tough day in agriculture in my life.
Joe and Nigel both, they look after their clients. There's no give and take, it's give from the Kerin family, and they're renowned for it.
You know, success is a very poor teacher. And to get ahead in life, you've got to fail and come back. And as you get older, there is a lot less failures because your decision-making process just gets so much better.
G'day, I'm Joe Kerin and this is my beautiful fiancée Caitlin, and our little 4.5-month-old boy Archer.
And we're from Kerin Ag.
Enterprise is the main core of the business, is Kerin Poll Merino stud, and that kicked off 14 years ago. Started off from scratch and we went straight up the ladder to having one of the biggest on-property ram sales in Australia, I think in our 6th year.
There's 500 or more rams that are displayed on the day, tied up, and they're all there for everyone to see. It's a great display of rams. You won't see it anywhere else in the world.
They're like peas in a pod, and that's because we created a phenotype 10 years ago. When you look at the growth of Kerin Ag since it started and the way it took off, it was driven purely by science. As soon as genomics come in, we use genomics. As soon as ASBVs come in, we were doing ASBVs straight away. All I had to do was fix up what was the negatives of merino, and that was fertility, which we already had. We've had a highly fertile flock for 25 years. And to fix up growth, we just had to start measuring that and then breeding towards that, which we used a lot of ET in the early days and massive AI programs. So post-weaning weight has been our #1 thing. You've got to get the bloody things to grow. They must compete against the terminals and the composites for growth and fertility. And then add on $80 of wool income and you're really grazing for profit. So you're actually knowing what horsepower you're buying here to bring back home and hook up to the implement back home that you want in your business, and that being your U-base. Whatever the weaknesses are in your U-base, go and select the strengths that's in our ram shed to go back into that U-base and get you back on your feet and going again. In the last 14 months, we've just introduced a Wagyu seed stock business as another enterprise.
We've got 2 embryo implants of calves on the ground. In our first implant, we went for a lot of diversity in what we were choosing. And in our second implant, we started to really choose animals that were going to push high-valued data.
What I love about Wagyu, everything they do is about genomics, EBVs and carcass data. This is real fair income measurement, the same as the modern merino is.
All our data is going to be submitted to breed plans, so it's there, it's open, it's public. Anyone can see the changes that are happening in the EBVs and accuracy.
They've got their eye set on being one of the biggest Wagyu producers in Australia from a seed stock point of view, so they're buying the right genetics, which is going to be a great thing for the whole Wagyu industry in Australia and the world.
We're focusing on increasing growth rates while keeping birth weights moderate. It's important not to forget that. But we're also making sure that a Wagyu still does what a Wagyu does best, which is deliver that high marbled and really unforgettable eating experience.
I think one thing farmers need to do is get off farm more often. I don't care what district you go to, there'll always be a cracking producer in any given district of any state in Australia that I can go to and learn stuff off. And we absolutely encourage anyone that's interested in doing business with us, whether it's Wagyu or Kerin Poll, get in your car and come up here and have a look.
What you're actually coming to see is it's what's possible when all the little things are in place. When infrastructure's right, when pastures are right, when management's right, genetics get their chance to flourish, and that's what you're coming to see. It's when all the little pieces are in place and you can actually see what an animal's capable of doing.
The biggest feedback I get from young people is, geez, I wish brought mum and dad. And I'll say, why is that? He said, just to show them what's possible.
We don't shy away from showing our failures as well. And that element of communicating those failures, every single time we do that, it's a knowledge piece. The best way that we can communicate with the clients and community is through our webinars and also our podcasts.
I think what our clients will see looking from outside the business in is a seed stock producer that can provide the total genetic package. We can provide genetics for sheep and genetics for cattle that are going to be high growth, high turnover, and provide a high valued end product, which is well and truly possible with what we're breeding.